Praise the slightest improvement, praise every improvement. Dale Carnegie. So I wanted to talk today, if you have a child that is having a tough time wanting to try new things, they're really struggling, they're really not wanting to do it, maybe it's a self-confidence issue, but the target today is a parent that is really struggling with a child that is not wanting to do anything. They just want to stay in their little comfort zone. That's been something that I've been dealing with our oldest. And a quote by Dale Carnegie, who wrote the book, one of my favorite books, almost is all the action items that you need. Let me dig into this a little bit, and I think I can shed some light that should be able to help you in whatever situation you're in with your children. So I'm going to share a couple of stories first that will give you kind of real life examples, and then we'll talk about kind of the action items in there. So our oldest got great on his bike, which was a smaller bike, and he just started growing, and he's taller for his age, and so his bike no longer fit him. So we got him a little bit bigger bike, and there was just a struggle to move up to that just slightly bigger bike, just out of comfort, just out of not wanting to do it. So much hesitation, and I've noticed this under several different areas. We'll talk about a swimming one in a little bit, but I noticed that he was just like, nope, I want to ride this one. And it's like, dude, that one's just not, you're too big for that one. It's actually harder to ride that one up hills because the wheels are so small. So it was fighting. I was trying to figure out a way. Well, how can I encourage him to show him that it's okay to bump up to that bigger bike? What I ended up doing is just encouraging him to, hey, you don't need to ride this bike on our long bike ride, but just take it around for a little spin right here in the court one time, and if you don't want to ride it after that, then we'll move on. You can use your smaller bike. So I did that a couple times, just encouraging him to take that small little action. What I found is it was either the second time that we did that, he was like, I'm not riding that bike, we'll just call it the green. I'm not riding that green bike, I'm riding my red bike. It's like, okay, well, just before we go, can you just take the green bike, just circle it around, and then we'll park it back in and you can ride your red bike. And the second time that he did that, he rode around and he goes, no, I'm gonna ride the green bike. And then he never went back to the red bike. There's a few things there, just encouraging to take a little action, not forcing him to ride the bigger bike or taking away the option, which would have caused a bunch of struggle, but just encouraging to take a little action. There's another story where a child that was super scared of heights and would not go to the top of a lighthouse, and so refused, and then one day he goes, I want to go to the top of the lighthouse. And the parents were like, really want to go over there. It's it's going to be a long drive over there. He's probably going to do the same thing, but he is asking, and he is scared of heights. So, let's encourage him. It's great that you want to try it. So they went over and they did the same method. They basically goes, nope, I don't want to go. I'm too scared. This is too crazy. And the dad encouraged his son to, let's go up to just that first. Let's go up these first 4 steps to the first landing. You could see it was right there. And then if you want to come back, you don't have to do it anymore. So they went up to the first landing, and then there was an encouragement to go up one more landing, because it was 12 or 15 landings. Why don't we've already made it here. Why don't we just go up a little bit more? So it's this small encouragement, and then praising for, hey, you did a great job. You should be proud of yourself for taking that tough action today. You should be super proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. So they did these different small sets of landings, just saying, hey, all you got to do is this little bit. It's not that tough. You don't have to you don't have to go all the way to the top. Let's just go a little bit. Hey, I'm sorry, it's raining, guys. But so if you can hear that thunder and the rain out there. And what ended up happening, the kid got to the top of the lighthouse. He was super excited. The dad praised him for going up, praised him for taking all those small actions. And then he wanted to go down and up and down and up. And they did that for hours, just that he had that sense of accomplishment of what he did. So those are the 2 stories that I want to share. Our kids hear from us so many times, and especially if we have a challenging child or a child that we find that takes a little bit more effort maybe you have multiple child and one's really easy and one's tough. Just understanding, hey, we need to give this child a little bit more praise, a little bit more encouragement, because they probably hear from the majority of people, no, don't do that. Hey, why are you doing this? All these negative phrases, and just giving them the encouragement to do just a little bit and praising them for taking that action, for doing what is hard. And I've used this mantra more now because we also have this struggle in swimming of we don't want to do it, or we don't want to do sports because our child is a little bit more wanting to do more things that are involved with his brain, like reading, which is great. We don't want to discourage that, but we also want to, make sure he's able to do good as a teammate or a team member in organized sports or something physical wise. And our mantra, which you can use too, is we do hard things. That's a mantra that I use, that I've taken to heart, but it's also something now that I'm passing along to my sons, that I would say, hey, if that's something that you need to share, that just, before something, after something, that mantra, hey, Dan, hey, Jill, we do hard things. And I'm proud of you for doing that today. You took really hard action. Even if, for instance, and I'll give you an example of swimming, even if they find it cold, they don't want to get in, and they get in for a while, and maybe it's a third of practice, and then they get out and sit up. And it's encouraging them for that third of the time that they're in the pool. Hey, I'm super proud of you doing the hard thing, you staying in the pool for that first 20 minutes and not sitting on the ledge, waiting for the next stroke. I'm super proud of you for doing the hard things. So recapping this whole thing, and if you just use the quote, the Dale Carnegie quote, praise the slightest change, praise every change, it gives you the overall structure of what you can do to give your child more self-confidence. Recapping is encourage your child for every little bit. Encourage him just to do a little bit, just to stay in the water for 20 minutes, just to ride their bike one circle around the parking lot and then come park it. Don't overwhelm them. If you're thinking about from their perspective, don't overwhelm them. Say, man, not only do I not want to ride the bike, but he wants me to ride the entire circle of the neighborhood, which is really long. I don't ride the bike, but that's a really huge way. Give them something that's a small, not overwhelming, that they can conceptualize and they can do. And they go, well, I can do that. Just a circle, and then I don't have to do it. No big deal. Then and praising any improvement. So they even get on their bike. Let's say they sit on their seat and then they don't take their bike around. Praising any improvement. Hey, I'm proud of you for doing the hard thing and sitting on the seat. I know you're gonna continue getting better and better and better, and praising every improvement, which is just like it says, proud of you for doing the hard things. I'm proud of you for being in the pool. I'm proud of you for doing practice today. I'm proud of you for improving on your strokes, whatever you're looking at, wanting them to improve in, encouraging them. And you should be proud of, that thing that you did today. Hope that helps. Guys, if you appreciate this content, we'd love you to smash and like the channel. We continue to try to make a positive impact for parents, for my kids. If you have something that I missed or some bit of knowledge that you're like, hey, Dave, I actually think to promote self-confidence, we do this. I don't know it all. I'd love for you to comment. Tell me, what I can do better. Maybe there's another strategy that you use that works really well with your kids. Let's help each other out and make a positive impact to the next generation of parents that are stronger with their kids. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.